Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving into some really cool stuff happening in Indonesia today.
Oh, yeah?
It's all about the potential for these two innovative financial systems to merge,
Okay.
QRIS and CBDC. So just imagine
Okay.
like all your daily purchases, grabbing your morning coffee,
Yeah.
or even like sending money overseas, all streamlined within one system.
Interesting.
That's kind of the potential we're going to unpack today.
Well, okay.
And to help us navigate all this, we're looking at an article by Tawhid Nur Azhar
Mm.
called The Marriage of QRIS and CBDC, May Samara and Happiness Be With Us.
Catchy title.
Yeah, definitely grabs your attention. So what are your initial thoughts on this whole QRIS and CBDC merger?
Well, I think it's fascinating how Indonesia is really trying to blend these well-established systems like QRIS with these cutting-edge technologies like CBDC.
Yeah,
It really shows their ambition to be a global leader in financial innovation.
totally. Now, I'm guessing most of you are familiar with QRIS. I mean, those QR codes are everywhere in Indonesia these days. But for anyone who hasn't been lucky enough to experience Indonesia's tech scene firsthand,
Yeah.
think of QRIS as their version of Apple Pay or Venmo.
It's been a game changer, for sure, especially for bringing more people into the formal financial system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even small street vendors can accept digital payments now.
That's amazing. And it's not just for buying things. You
Right.
can use it for interbank transfers, donations, even cross-border transactions.
Amazing.
It's incredible. And it's all regulated by Bank Indonesia. So,
Yeah.
things are running smoothly and securely across all these different platforms.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about CBDC,
Okay.
central bank digital currency. It's basically a digital version of, well, a country's regular currency,
Okay.
issued and regulated by their central bank.
So how is it different from, say, Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies?
That's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
So CBDC uses blockchain technology, which we'll get into a bit later.
Yeah.
But unlike those decentralized cryptocurrencies,
hmm
the central bank actually has control over CBDC circulation.
Oh, I see.
It's like having the security and transparency of blockchain,
Right.
but with the stability of a central authority.
Okay, that makes sense. You mentioned blockchain,
Yeah.
and I have to admit, it's still a bit of a mystery to me. Can you break it down in a way that even I can understand?
Sure. Imagine like a digital receipt book
Okay.
that everyone has access to.
Right.
So every transaction is recorded in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And once a page is added, it can't be changed or removed. That's essentially blockchain.
So like a shared, super secure record of every transaction?
Exactly.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it.
Good.
But let's go back to CBDC for a second.
Sure.
The article talks about this Indonesian twist.
Yeah.
What makes their approach so unique?
Well, Dr. Dodi Koryutama,
Okay.
who is a faculty member at the Bank Indonesia Institute,
Mm-hmm.
he's proposing this hybrid approach for Indonesia's CBDC.
Mm.
It combines the decentralized nature of blockchain, which we've been talking about,
Right.
but also with that centralized control by the central bank.
So they're trying to get the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
How would that actually work with different types of money?
Okay, so think of it this way. You've got your physical cash, right? We call that fiat money.
Okay.
Then there's the money in your bank account.
Right.
It's digital, but it's still controlled by the banking system.
Yeah.
That's Giro money.
Giro money, got it.
And then there's quasi-money.
Quasi money.
Yeah, things like savings accounts or time deposits, which are a bit less liquid.
Okay, so how does this hybrid CBDC fit in with all these different types of money?
Well, Dr. Utamama is envisioning a system where each unit of CBDC would have this unique serial number
Okay.
that's linked to its physical counterpart. Kind of like how each banknote has a unique serial number.
Oh, interesting.
So even though it's digital, it's still tied to that physical world of fiat money.
That's pretty clever. It
Yeah.
sounds like they're building a bridge between the old and new financial systems.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it.
But what really gets me excited is this idea of QRIS and CBDC actually merging.
Yeah.
Think about the possibilities if they could work together.
It would be huge. The article really highlights that synergy between QRIS and CBDC. Like, imagine using just one QRIS code to pay with CBDC.
Wow.
Whether you're at your local market or even traveling in another country that also uses CBDC.
Wow. Paying with CBDC through QRIS, even internationally. That would be a game changer.
Absolutely.
I can already see how this could revolutionize daily life in Indonesia.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture?
Mhm.
How does this tie into Indonesia's overall economic ambitions?
Well, that's where the vision of Indonesia EMA's 2045 comes in.
Okay.
It's this national strategic plan to make Indonesia one of the world's leading economies by, well, 2045.
That's a bold goal.
It is.
What role do QRIS and CBDC play in that?
They're seen as key drivers of economic transformation, creating a more efficient, more inclusive, and more technologically advanced financial system.
Right.
That could unleash some serious economic potential.
So we've got this incredibly popular QR code payment system, QRIS,
Yes.
potentially teaming up with CBDC, a secure and efficient digital currency powered by a blockchain.
Right.
And together, they could help Indonesia reach these ambitious goals.
Precisely.
This is incredible.
There's another player in this story, too.
And who's that?
Danantara.
Dentara.
Yeah, the investment management agency.
I'm not familiar with them.
So they were established to manage Indonesia's strategic investments
Okay.
and help grow those world-class corporations.
I see.
Their name actually combines the words Daya, Anagata, and Nusantara,
Wow.
which translates to the power of the future of Nusantara.
It's powerful.
It really captures their mission
Yeah.
to drive economic transformation and national prosperity.
It sounds like they have a crucial role to play in shaping Indonesia's economic future.
Absolutely. They're attracting investment, supporting innovative initiatives like this potential integration of QRIS and CBDC, all with the goal of creating a more prosperous and equitable Indonesia.
We've covered a lot in this first part of our deep dive, from how QRIS and CBDC work to the grand vision of Indonesia Emas 2045.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. It's clear that Indonesia is on the move, but we're just scratching the surface here.
Welcome back to our deep dive
Okay.
into the exciting potential of QRIS and CBDC in Indonesia. I think we've laid some good groundwork,
Yeah.
but now I'm curious,
All right.
how would this merger actually play out
Right.
in the lives of everyday Indonesians?
Well, that's what's so exciting to think about. Imagine like being an overseas worker sending money back home to your family. Right now, you might face long wait times, high fees, and a whole lot of paperwork.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
But with CBDC integrated with QRIS,
Yeah.
those remittances could become instant and practically free. Wow, that would be life-changing for so many families.
Right?
It's amazing to think how technology could directly impact people's lives like that
Yeah, for the better.
in such a positive way.
Exactly. And it's not just about individuals either.
Okay.
Think about, like, small business owners. They could accept payments from customers anywhere in the world
Wow,
without having to worry about currency exchange rates or delays.
that's incredible.
It could open up all sorts of opportunities for growth and expansion.
It sounds like this integration could be a major boost for Indonesia's economy as a whole.
Absolutely.
But let's be realistic, no system is perfect.
Right.
What are some of the challenges they might face bringing QRIS and CBDC together?
Well, I think one of the biggest hurdles is going to be getting everyone on board.
Okay.
QRIS has been a huge success, but introducing CBDC,
Yeah.
it would require a massive effort to educate the public
Right.
and build trust in this new form of money.
Makes sense.
People can be hesitant to embrace new technology, especially when it comes to their finances.
Yeah, I remember when credit cards were first introduced.
Yeah.
It took a while for them to catch on.
Exactly. And then you've got the ever-present cybersecurity concerns.
Oh, right.
Blockchain is incredibly secure, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but anytime you're dealing with digital systems, there's always a risk of attacks.
True.
Ensuring the CBDC infrastructure is robust and resilient is going to be crucial.
Security is definitely paramount.
Yes.
We wouldn't want people to shy away from CBDC just because they're worried about their money being vulnerable.
Exactly. And then, of course, you've got the regulatory side of things.
Ah, yes, the regulatory landscape.
Always.
Another critical piece of the puzzle.
Integrating CBDC into the existing financial system,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to require careful planning and coordination
Right.
with Bank Indonesia
Of course.
to make sure there's a smooth transition
Right.
and to avoid any unintended consequences.
So it's a complex endeavor,
Very much so.
but with potentially huge rewards. If Indonesia can pull this off,
Yeah.
could it have a ripple effect on other countries in the region?
I think so.
Okay.
Indonesia is already a leader in the digital economy.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can successfully integrate QRIS and CBDC,
Yeah.
it could inspire other nations to follow suit.
Interesting.
It's not just about the technology itself.
Right.
It's also about demonstrating that commitment to financial inclusion, and economic empowerment.
It's exciting to imagine Indonesia being at the forefront of a global movement toward a more inclusive financial system.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out even further for a second.
Okay.
We've talked about blockchain in this context of finance,
Yeah.
but what about its potential applications beyond the world of money?
That's what's so fascinating about blockchain.
Yeah.
Its potential extends way beyond just finance.
Like what?
Imagine secure and transparent supply chains where you could track the journey of your food from farm to table, or healthcare systems where your medical records are tamper-proof and easily accessible.
It sounds like blockchain could revolutionize the way we interact with the world around us.
It really could.
I'm starting to see how this technology could fundamentally change so many aspects of our lives.
It's a game changer.
It is.
And the beauty of innovation
Mm-hmm.
is that it often sparks these unforeseen possibilities.
Right.
We might not even be able to imagine all the ways blockchain will impact our world in the years to come.
This is all incredibly exciting.
It is.
But I want to bring it back down to earth for a moment.
Okay.
What can our listeners do to stay informed and engaged with these developments? Where should they start?
Well, the article we've been discussing,
Yeah.
The Marriage of QRIS and CBDC, May Samara and Happiness Be With Us, by Tawhid Nur Azhar.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great starting point.
Yeah.
It's full of information and insights,
Okay.
and it's written in a way that's easy to understand,
Right.
even if you're not a finance expert.
I completely agree. And of course, you can always count on the deep dive to keep you updated
A fact.
on the latest developments in this exciting field.
Always.
Speaking of which, we're about to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive. But don't worry, we'll be back for part 3,
Looking forward to it.
where we'll delve even deeper into these potential challenges and opportunities of CBDC.
Yeah, we'll explore some of the more nuanced and thought-provoking aspects of this technology,
Okay.
including those ethical considerations
Right.
and its potential impact on global financial systems.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Indonesia's financial future. We've explored the potential of QRIS and CBDC.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've talked about the benefits and challenges and even the ripple effects this could have globally.
Right.
But now I want to get into some of the bigger questions surrounding CBDC,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to privacy and security.
You've hit on a really crucial point there.
Yeah. With a central bank potentially having a record of every single transaction,
Mm-hmm.
how do we make sure individual privacy isn't compromised?
That's a valid concern. We don't want a system where Big Brother is tracking our every purchase.
Exactly. So striking that balance
Yeah.
between transparency, which is one of blockchain's strengths,
Mhm.
and individual privacy, well, that's going to be a key challenge.
So are there ways to address those privacy concerns?
Well, there are a few promising avenues being explored right now.
Okay.
One idea is to build these privacy-enhancing technologies directly into the CBDC system itself.
Interesting.
Another approach is to establish clear legal frameworks
Mhm.
that protect individual data rights
Right.
and limit government access to transaction data.
So finding that right balance is going to be a delicate process.
It will be.
But what about the potential for misuse? Could CBDC be used for surveillance
Right.
or even control by the government?
That's a question we definitely need to address head on. The possibility of a government having the power to, say, freeze or restrict access to your funds,
Right.
that's a serious concern. Open and transparent discussions are going to be vital to ensure CBDC is implemented with the right safeguards in place.
It's not just about the technology itself. It's
Right.
about the ethical framework surrounding its development and use.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Technology is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad.
Right.
It's our collective responsibility to make sure CBDC is used to empower individuals, to promote financial inclusion, and create a more equitable society.
That's a really powerful point. Now, let's zoom out to the global stage for a minute.
Right.
We've talked about Indonesia potentially being a trendsetter here. But how could widespread CBDC adoption reshape the global financial landscape?
That's where things get really interesting. One potential outcome is a shift away from, say, a U.S. dollar-dominated system
Okay.
to a more multipolar financial world. With countries issuing their own digital currencies, we could see a redistribution of power and influence in global finance.
So a potential power shift, all thanks to digital currencies.
It could be a game changer. Countries could have greater control over their own monetary policy, potentially reducing their reliance on traditional financial institutions.
That would have huge implications for international trade and finance.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about the impact on everyday transactions.
Right.
CBDC could really be a driving force in accelerating the move towards a cashless society.
Which, of course, comes with its own set of pros and cons.
For sure.
Yeah.
But one potential benefit is that it could make it more difficult for criminals
Okay.
to engage in illicit activities,
Right.
as all transactions would be recorded and traceable on the blockchain.
So increased transparency and security,
Yeah,
but also potential challenges to privacy and individual autonomy.
exactly.
It seems like CBDC is a complex issue with no easy answers.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important to have these conversations,
Mm-hmm.
to weigh the potential benefits and risks carefully,
Right.
and to approach this new technology with a critical yet open mind.
Well, I think we've done a great job of unpacking those complexities in this deep dive. We've
Yeah.
covered everything from the technical details of QRIS and CBDC
Yeah.
to the ethical considerations and potential global implications. It's been an amazing journey.
It has. And I hope our listeners feel empowered to continue exploring these topics
Mm-hmm.
and engaging in these informed discussions about the future of finance.
So as we wrap up, what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important takeaway is that we're at a pivotal moment in financial history.
Okay.
CBDC has the power to completely revolutionize financial systems as we know them,
Mm-hmm.
but it also presents us with these crucial questions about privacy, security, and the balance of power.
So stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay curious.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
The future of finance is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in its evolution.
We do.
Who knows, maybe one day soon we'll all be paying for our morning coffee with CBDC through a simple QRIS code.
I, for one, am excited to see what the future holds.
Me too! Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of Indonesian financial innovation. Until next time, keep exploring.